Well, you've seen reviews on eBay of expensive locomotives and other devices. How about a review of a £1.99 second-hand item? I'm quite a reasonable user of eBay, buying and selling things. But you can't pick up bargains like this on eBay. Found in a model shop. It's not got a name underneath, so just quickly looking at it, I can't tell what make it is. What I can tell is, and this is reflected in the price, first of all there's a buffer missing that's been broken off, but it has a very fine drawbar, so that's finely detailed drawbar. It's had couplings attached by pads to the chassis. The steps are not moulded as part of the chassis, so they're separately added. The brake blocks are in line with the wheels, and so that sets it apart from other models. It has properly, do we say detailed, shaped lamp brackets. The back, they're just not moulded in. And another thing which may have reduced its price is the fact somebody's had to go at it with some paint. In other words, they've weathered it. Now, on the layout, that's going to look good. I'm not the first to say it, but you can never have too many brake vans. The other thing about this is there's a lamp attached to the back. It may only be a 5-minute or 10-minute job to attach a lamp. Single lamp in the centre, presumably that means a goods train. And so, what needs to be done? Well, you don't necessarily need a rear coupling, do you, if it's going to be on the back of a train, but they weren't always marshalled as the last thing on the train. Sometimes they're marshalled within the train, from what I've seen. Simple enough to add a coupling, one buffer. Getting one to match the existing one might be tricky, so it might mean a pair of buffers, a little bit of glue to reattach the steps on this side, and I've got quite a nice useful little model for £1.99. If anybody was the person that weathered this, or even knows what make it is, even though it's been painted black underneath, the original colouring is bright red. If you look up inside the casing, you can see that it's actually bright red in colour, so the plastic was that, so that's quite a reasonable job of toning down that original bright red colour. And I thought it would be interesting just to have a look at my latest bargain. Where do I pick these up? Well, Mark Way in Sheffield have a cabinet of second-hand items which are all properly priced. And when I say properly priced, you can pay more than you should on eBay. It is a buy beware place. But if you consider that eBay is global, and in theory there's lots on there, sometimes I will browse it and find it very, very difficult to find a bargain that I'm actually interested in buying or that looks reasonable given the postage. I often find, if I go into Markway or also in Sheffield, Rails of Sheffield have quite a good second-hand and a good eBay presence, but the second-hand shop is worth a visit. Hull 53A models, or my local shop, Freising Hall Model Railways, under traintraders.net, do second-hand things. You can see some second-hand things in the net, but they price it properly. On traintraders.net, if you want to compare prices on there, it doesn't appear when you do Google search often for items. They're not on eBay. And the thing you know is that you're getting a return to the shop sort of guarantee if there's anything wrong or it wasn't as described. But you're not going to fall into the trap of paying money for something that doesn't run well. Okay, a bit of a rant about eBay versus your local model shop. If your local model shop does second hand, have a look at them and try and make use of it, because that will keep them in business. And certainly my view is that I more often than not find something like that in my model shop, come away with something far more frequently than I do going to eBay, which presumably with its global, or at least completely national reach, in theory should have a better selection. Thank you.